Hello guys, welcome back to my Compose Bootcamp. And in this Bootcamp number 1, we're gonna learn a lot of interesting concepts in Compose. Okay, let's go through the index of what we are gonna learn in this tutorial. We're gonna learn about Compose. We're gonna build the UI with Compose. We're gonna learn how to reuse composables. We're gonna learn the basic Compose elements like column, row, box, buttons. Okay, we're gonna learn how to manage the state in Compose. Okay, so we are going to also talk about state hoisting, hoisting hoisting, and we're going to learn how to create a recycle view in Compose. We're going to learn about also data persistence while configuration changes in Compose, or the application when the application is killed, and when we also learn how to add animations to Compose elements, and we're gonna finally add styles and theme to our Compose application. So this is the demo of what we're gonna build. It's gonna preach continue. So the list of expandables. Okay, this is the character of expandables, and this is pretty much collapse and expanded. Okay, that's it. So this is a pretty simple application, but we are going to learn all the basic fundamental concepts about Compose, the core concept of Compose in this bootcamp. Okay, so without wasting any time, let's go right to the the first concept. The fundamental concept is Compose. What is Compose? Compose is a modern UI toolkit designed to simplify UI development. It combines reactive programming model with the conciseness and ease of use of Kotlin programming language. Okay, let me just quote this Kotlin programming language, because as you can see, all the composables that we are going to build, it's written in Kotlin programming language. It's Kotlin function, pretty much. It's like a simple Kotlin functions. As you can see, this is the powerful concept that we don't need to use XML anymore, right? So this is the most powerful concept that you have to keep a note. Okay, so it is fully decorative, meaning you describe your UI by calling a series of functions, these composables actually, that transforms data into the UI hierarchy. Okay, so when data changes, the framework will automatically re-execute the functions and update the UI hierarchy, and this phenomenon is called recomposition. Okay, that's it. How, like, whenever the state changes, composables will recompose themselves to adapt with the state change, right? So this is the concept. Okay, so first of all, obviously you need to go and set up your library. Just go to your build.gradle.kotlin script file and just set up your library, and just be careful to about this concept, like your build features should have compose to equals true, and your compose options should have a Kotlin compiler extension version. Okay, so I'm using 1.4.3, but you can also use the latest version. Okay, so I'm using this kind of Kotlin libraries. Okay, so this is the concept you have to like, this is the initial setup that you have to do to start with the building your Compose application. Okay, so after the initial library setup, we will further move on to creating our basic like our main activity. In the main activity, okay, so actually this is what it is. Like, I'm using, okay, let me try to explain it. So this is my main activity. Okay, so I'm just setting a content here, and this setting content, as you can see, this is the starting point. In Compose, activity is the entry point to our application. Okay, so as you can see in the code, we use the method set content to define our layout. Okay, so as you remember, we are not using XML anymore, so all the layout is being defined in this way. You are setting the content, passing the composables. Okay, so this is the composables that is a theme. This is also composable, and also the application is also composable. Okay, so we will go step by step to each concept. Okay, To use the preview, either we use the parameterless composables or use the composables with the default preview parameter with the preview annotation. This is the preview. As you can see here, I'm using you can also use preview without parameterless composables, like for example, this is a parameterless composable. Okay, we are just using a greetings preview, as you can see here. Okay, or you can use a composables with the default parameter. For example, this is a composables with a default parameter, like modifier is assigned to a modifier default parameter, right? And we need to obviously build our project, okay, to see the preview. Okay, the preview is actually seen in this way. As you can see here, this is the preview. Okay, so now let's move further to the understand the concept. And if you go more deep inside here, you will see that we are using surface, right? Okay, I'm using the surface twice. Okay, so we are using surface and material theme. Okay, as you can see there, this is two concepts. One is the surface, and the second one is the material theme. So these are the concepts from material design. Okay, so which is a design system created by Google to create modern UI and user experiences. Okay, so this material component surface are built to make our UI UX better by taking care of common features that are probably that we probably want in our application. For example, providing proper default color to the our application. Okay, the material components in Compose are built on top of other foundation components that you can check it out. Okay, so for example, this one, so they are built under other foundation components, like under this under this package. Okay, so we have a foundation package where this foundation package has pretty much a lot of interesting common features that we are common built-in functions that are provided by these foundation components, and we can use this for our flexibility, right? For example, you have text, shapes, corner base shape, corner size, everything. These are all built inside the foundation package under Compose. Compose foundation, as you can see here, right? Okay, so let's move further. And then we are also, let me see, okay, we are also using an important concept called modifiers here. So this modifier parameter will tell a UI element how to lay out or display or behave within the parent layout. Okay, so this is there is a best practice that you have to follow when you use the modifier. That is this one. As you can see here, I'm just displaying in my composables, I'm just passing modifier as a as a parameter, because this modifier will be passed by our parent like where we are gonna call the starting point. We are passing the modifier. So this is the best practice that you need to follow, is that your composable should include a modifier parameter that is assigned with an empty modifier by default. Okay, so so why do we do it? Because you can if doing this, you can forward this modifier to the first composables you are going to call inside your function. Like we are passing the modifier to the first composable function that we are calling it, right? And doing this, we will the advantage of doing this is like you are going to adapt your layout from outside of your composables, like, right? So this is the benefit, right? Okay, that's it. So And also you need to understand there is another simple like amazing concept that we are gonna reuse the composables. Uh, okay, let me show you a simple example of how do we reuse the composables. Like for example, you can see this is how we are theming it, but okay, this is my composables and my composable bottom screen. Okay, so this is another composables, and we are reusing this composable, right? So we are just pretty much reusing this composable and calling it from our main activity, right? So it's a different composable screen. So why do we need to reuse composables? If we need to add more components to our UI, there is more level of nesting that we need to create. Okay, so nesting this code can make a code messy and unorganized. Okay, for better code, clean code actually, we need to make small reusable components of UI elements that will be easy to maintain and is responsible for independent task. Like so this is the real concept that you need to follow, is like create a small blocks of independent task composables which are gonna do the independent task. Like for example, as you can see here, I'm just setting the content that is my compose bootcamp app. It's a composables that is divided into other composables. Like composables, there are two scenarios, right? One is if the bootcamp screen should be shown, then you are gonna show this composable slide is compose bootcamp screen. Otherwise you're gonna show compose expandables screen, okay, which is another composables. And this way we try to create more like levels of we're gonna just separate our structure. Okay, separate our structure means like we are gonna make a small reusable composables like this one, right? In this is the simple example scenario. Okay, now let's before building like understanding our app, let's try to understand our some basic fundamental compose elements. Let's try to understand about compose uh, row. First of all, compose row elements. Okay, so this is my row element, as you can see here in the preview. It's pretty much like a row which is arranged horizontally and has a space in between, and it has two items, like in a text arranged horizontally against, as you can see here, text, and you have a button. Okay, similarly you have also so background, let me show where is if I have any yeah, we also have another composable elements that is a so background true. This is a compose elements. Okay, let me just close this one. Okay, so this is our compose column element. Okay, so this is our column which is pretty much vertically arranged. Okay, so there is a two concept that you have to understand. If you see, row is horizontally arranged obviously, and columns are pretty much vertically arranged, as you can see here. And this is our vertically arranged column. And then we also have another fundamental compose element is like my box. Okay, let me go and check out my box. So let's preview this. Let me just cancel this preview here and like to try to, oh sorry guys, let's preview this here. As you can see, this is my box. Okay, the box it is pretty much like taking the entire space here. and like it's arranged. You have a text here, you have a button here in the middle, and then you have a finally account box. Let me check out the scenarios here. I have a compose text. Yeah, you have a text here, you have a button here, and then you have a icon here. Okay, so this is how it is working. And let's see the prep like parameters that you can pass. You can pass the modifier, you can pass the content alignment, and then you can pass the propagation minimum constraints, and then finally this is the content of the box. All right, so that's it. And then let's move on to other compose elements like my button. So this is my elevated button, which is pretty much using a surface, having a color, primary color, and then you have a elevated button here. Like this is a callback that whenever you click, you just change your state, right? And on basis of this state, the recomposition happens here. And this is the our button will consist of a text inside here. Okay, so this is our another compose element. And you have different compose buttons like elevated button, text button, outlined button, field tonal button. Okay, so there, so I will strongly suggest you go and check out the documentation if you want to learn more about the different types of button. Let me check out, let me write here. We have a button types. We have a elevated button, then we have okay, let me just okay, let me cancel this one. Button types. Okay, we have elevated button, we have text button, we have outlined button, then we also have a field tonal button. And yeah, you can check out the documentation and for the details. So and also just please note that we are using Kotlin to build our powerful UI. Okay, adding different conditional check also we can do that. We can add in multiple conditional checks and also loops, right? You know, as you can see here, I'm just using inside a column, instead of passing each time like this one, I'm just passing as a list. Okay, and this is the benefit of using Kotlin here and building the UI using the Kotlin. You can easily manipulate, adapt your UI on the conditions that is in however manner you want to adapt you, right? So this is the benefit of using Kotlin. I mean, like, you can also do it in this okay, you can also add some checks here to adapt, like to change, to modify your UI. Okay, and it's pretty much easy to modify the UI. It's not like complex as when we were using the views, right? It was like we had to go and change the XML and, like, do multiple other condition, like for example, in the recycle view, you need to create the adapters, and do all the process. Like, it's pretty much simple here. Like, it's a simple block of code. You are creating the entire recycle view in such a simple block of code. Okay, it's such a simple thing, like we are recovering a lot of time and like effort and also energy and also resources. Okay, so now let's go and jump onto the some important concepts. So one of the important concept is how do we manage the state. Okay, so here, as you can see here in this example, okay, let me just go and uh, cancel this preview and try to use the preview here. Okay, if you check out this not working version state management compose, these composables will not work. Why it will not work? uh, Let me go and run and check, show you that why it will not work. If you see, if I collapsed, it is not collapsed, right? If I click collapse, like it will not expand, it is still collapsed, right? Why it's not working? Even if I am writing the check, right, is if you can see the check the code, yeah, I'm using the variable expanded is false. Whenever the elevated button is clicked, this is on click, expanded is not expanded, so it is true. So if it is true, then it should be expanded, right? Not collapsed, but still it's collapsed. It's why it's not changing. Yeah, so this is the scenarios that you need to understand here. Okay, so this is the most important concept, that uh, uh, expanded the use of this expanded variable will not let compose detect if the state changes inside the component. Okay, so the main reason is because compose cannot detect if the state has changed inside the components just using this variable. Okay, a simple variable, and recomposition obviously will not occur. So we need to rewrite the code using there is a concept called mutable state of. Okay, so we have to use mutable state of that holds some value and trigger UI updates whenever the value changes. Okay, to preserve the state across recomposition, we also need to use another concept that is called remember to the mutual state of. Okay, so this remember will act like a guard to recomposition, so the state is not reset. Okay, so what we will suggest you to do is, instead of using this one, you will be using mutable state of and assign the default value that is false. Then you're gonna use a remember okay, so this is the scenario that you have to use it. Okay, and instead of this one, you will gonna pass the value, and it will work in this scenario. As you can see, when I click, it's recomposed, right? The composer is recomposed, and it's pretty working. So as I told you, this we will use this mutable state of. We always need to use this mutable state of. Okay, so this is really necessary if you want to trigger recomposition in your composables. Otherwise it's not gonna happen. Okay, and then obviously you need to use remember to preserve the state occurs recomposition. Okay, so now let's understand the concept of state hoisting that I was talking about. So in compose, the state that reads the, okay, now let's just define this one. Okay, in compose, the state that is read or modified by multiple composables should live in a common parent. Okay, and this process is called state hoisting. And state hoisting has a lot of advantages, like it avoids duplicating of the state, it avoids bugs, it helps to reuse composables, it makes composables easy to test. So it has a lot of advantages. And how do we do state hoisting? Is like okay, let me go and show you that. Okay, so as I told you, state hoisting is a process in which you have a state that is read or modified by multiple composables that is living in a common parent. So as you can see here, this is my starting point right here. The starting point, so you are setting the content, your layout here, and you have a composable, that is my composable bootcamp. This is my starting point, and here as you can see here, I have two scenarios, right? So I have a like either I show the bootcamp screen or I show the but it's based on this variable, right? I'm just passing the bootcamp like showing the bootcamp screen, compose bootcamp screen, or I'm showing the compose expandables if the like the welcome screen is not there, right? So this is the two scenarios that is happening here, and my state which is holding this state, which is like a condition that is like checking which screen to be shown is being provided by this state, right? So bootcamp screen state. Okay, and this is always we are using, as I told you, mutable state of true. And also we are using the magic like Kotlin, power of Kotlin, that by using this keyword by, so that we don't need to pass like value each time. Okay, so this makes us directly access the parameter, the parameter, the value of this state, mutable state. We don't need to assign value right each time, so this will directly access the value. Like this one here, as you can see here, we will assign the value, and it's should be always with var, because it's mutable. And that's it. I will be coming with remember savable, okay, in a while when we come to persistence. Okay, so that's it. This is how we are using state hoisting process. So here we hoist our state. Okay, that means whatever like variable that is being read by multiple composables is being like you are gonna just put this in a common parent. All right, so this is state hoisting. And as I told you, I have two scenarios here. Either I show the okay, let me run this application now. So what is happening is if my so bootcamp screen is like you see is false at first, then I will see, so the compose so bootcamp screen is true. So I will just show the bootcamp screen, and this is my bootcamp screen. This is my bootcamp screen, that is this one, as you can see here. This is already, I am hosting the state, so it's already done. This is my bootcamp screen, as you can see here. And when I click continue, what is happening here is on clicked is being called, that is like we are just calling this callback, and this callback is being triggered here, and recomposition will happen here. And I will just move on to the expandable screen. Okay, so I will show this compose expandable screen, and that is this screen, as you can see here, right? It's pretty clean and tidy. Okay, now let's as you can see, now let's move further understanding this composable expandable screen. As you can see, I'm using not column, but I'm using lazy column. What is this lazy column? Why do we need this lazy column? It's especially needed when your list is very large. So if you want to display a large amount of list items, and which you need to make it smoothly scrollable, right? And then in this scenario we are going to use lazy column. Okay, it's pretty much like a recycled view, as I told you. And it will render only the what it will do is it will render only the visible items on the screen, and allows the performance grain when the we render the huge list. Okay, so how this lazy column works, actually how it works inside, is lazy column actually doesn't recycle its children like a recycle view. It's not like exactly, it's not working exactly the same like a recycle view. It has its different mechanism how it is working inside. So what it will do, it will, whenever you scroll up, the new composables, like this is the new composables, will be emitted, as you can see here. Okay, so this is how it is happening here. So emitting new composables are pretty cheap compared to instantiating the new views, okay, like in recycle view. So this is what is happening here. Okay, so now let's go back to the concept that I was talking about. Is about I was talking about the persistence of the state. So how do we persist the state? How do you persist the state? So to persist like there are some different scenarios when we like for example, now you have this application running. Okay, so the remember this compose expandable screen, this expanded. Okay, um, okay, so this expanded will actually remove like hold this state like collapsed or expanded. Like for example, this is expanded, right? And if this like if I change the configuration, you see now it's still I'm using remember savable, but if I use okay, it's still remember. If I just use remember, okay, and like let me run the application. Sir, let me run this application. Okay, so I'm expanding this state, and then I'm just rotating the configuring the changes. Let me see if it is actually working. Let me close this. Actually it's not. Oh, as you can see here, when I'm scrolling it, I have this it's collapsed, right? It's not saving. The expanded is not being saved, as you can see here, right? So if I use remember savable, let's see the difference, what will happen here. let's go to the expandable screen. Let's expand this, change this, let me just yeah, scroll up, down, yeah, you see the state is being remembered, as you can see here. Okay, so this is the difference between remember and remember savable, and this is how we like persist our state even when we rotate our screen. Okay, so now let's go and learn about how do we animate. Okay, how do we animate? Like as you can see here, I'm using the animation here, right? There is some like extra space, like we are gonna use this animate dp as a state. This composables is being used to animate in compose. Okay, so this will actually, what it will do, it will return the state object whose value will continuously be updated until it is done. Okay, so it takes the target value, as you can see here in the of type dp, and like which is passed on the basis of the logic of expanded, or if it is expanded you pass this value, the target value, otherwise you pass this target value, right, 0 dp. Okay, so there is also another optional parameter called animation spec. Is an optional parameter to customize the animation, like you can use like different animation like tween, spring, repeatable, you know, like spring, and if you pass the spring you have a like this parameter like damping ratio, stiffness, you know. And I'm pretty much using tween animation here, and you can also check out um, the like official documentation where you can use different animations like this one. As you can see here, compose animations in compose, they are different, like you can check out this documentation for further learning about animation in compose. Okay, and here what we am doing is like I'm using the padding that is I'm passing this extra space squares at least. Okay, ensures the value is not less than the specified minimum value. Okay, so that's it. And now finally let's go and add kind of a let's go and add our theme. Okay, style and theme in our compose application. So for our theme, composable bootcamp screen, as you can see here, I'm using preview expandables in a dark and light mode. Okay, light theme. But how I am doing this? Okay, so let me go and explain this. So we are using this if you can see here in the preview, I'm using this Android Compose tutorial theme. Okay, so I'm adding this custom theme to my Compose application, and I'm just declaring a dark color scheme with this defined colors here. As you can see here, I have purple, like gray 80, pink, you know, all this, and for light color scheme I have defined my light color scheme. You can also define other default colors to override, like background, surface, on primary, on secondary, you know, on tertiary, on background, on surface, you know. So I'm just pretty much defining just three different colors, like primary, secondary, and tertiary colors. And then here I'm just creating a composable that's like Android composable tutorial theme, which has this dark theme. That is if a system is dark, in dark theme or light theme, it is provided by the system. and have a dynamic color is set to true if you have Android versions more than 12. Okay, and then you have following conditional checks, right? Like if is a dark theme is enabled, then you just pass on the dark color scheme that we have defined here. Otherwise we just provide the light color scheme, and then that's it. This is like material theme. Just pass on the this your custom theme, your color scheme, typography, you know, the content. That's it, guys. And just to declare your theme to your entire application, like whenever you set the content inside this content, your composables should be assigned to this theme, right? Like passing this here. Okay, so yeah, this is a way of adding styles and theme in your compose application. And yeah, you have to preview your theme. It's pretty simple. Just need to preview in this way. Just need to add the UI mode night. Yes, this is the dark mode and this is the light mode. Okay, guys, and yeah, that's it, guys. So this is all about our the simple application that we learned in this compose bootcamp, and hope it was very useful for you guys. And if you like this kind of content, please do subscribe me and follow, like, and for other tutorials, like I'll be coming up with more technical advanced and interesting tutorials in compose and kotlin multi-platform, or many other android concept or swift ui concepts, you know. So, and catch you up in the next lecture, and please do share this content if you like it, and catch you up in the next lecture, guys. Thank you.